So let's get into it. Now don't go into the first manhole, it's just a waste of time. It just comes out of the second manhole that you're about to pass. And don't get smushed by the tank here, that's an instant kill. And stay close to the building here, but not too close so you can easily take out the foot soldiers without having to move too much. And in this first area you'll have mousers and flies to deal with, Lord of the Flies. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for Leonardo or Donatello. And of course you will have Bebop at the end of this area waiting in the wings. Now I definitely recommend Dawn for the battle with Bebop. And you won't have a lot of time to get out of the way of Bebop's charge because he comes out of nowhere. So if you get clipped, don't worry about it. His staff takes a unit of Bebop's health, so you'll have him beat in no time. And this is why I like Dawn, because he can attack people while running away from them with the staff. I think that's awesome. But once you take care of him, go up here and go in this right here. If you have any turtles that need help, grab the slice of pizza and then climb back out and then go back in. You'll see the pizza will be there again. So you can do this as much as you want. And these enemies are a little bit easier to deal with, so make sure they show up when you drop down so you won't have to deal with the flame guy right off the bat, although you will have him to deal with in here as well. Now you'll have a small mini boss right here. It could be a chainsaw guy or a giant frog, but shouldn't be too much for you to deal with. And this is where you might have to deal with your first flame guy. With Dawn, it'll just take 2 hits to take care of him. Beware of the birds because they will swoop down on you, as you can see. I'll try to use the other turtles in this run through. I'm a lot more comfortable with Dawn because of his range and power. He can easily take out guys in 2 hits where the others can take 3 or 4. And then you'll face Rocksteady in this building. Another good turtle to use for these area with a lot of these dragonflies is Raphael. He can also take them out in 1 hit. And drop down here. Make sure 3 dragonflies pass before you hop back up here. And make sure that laser does not hit you, because that thing will take a lot of your health away. And climb up here. And I discovered this trick completely by accident. I was just kind of messing around. But jump off the wall and you'll jump over that dragonfly. And you can take care of that other one with no damage. It'll take some practice. Now Dawn's bow can take out Rocksteady's bullets, and you can jump around and avoid him and then take him out. But if you want to do the El Cheapo thing, staying on top of the crates, that is also an option. But as soon as he's dead, you're on to area 2. Now the first floor of this area will be much like the sewer that you first went into. It'll be flies and mousers with the occasional foot soldier thrown in to keep things interesting. It takes 2 hits to take out the foot soldiers with Leo, so I just stuck with Dawn here. Now if you hurt the foot soldier and don't kill him, he'll do a jump flip to the other side of the screen, but you can quickly huff it over there and kill him before he lands. Now when you take care of this mouser, start walking slowly to the right, because this foot soldier really sneaks up on you and he can easily get within hitting distance very quick. Now sometimes before you get on the ladder, it's 2 foot soldiers and then a chainsaw guy, or it's 1 foot soldier and then 2 chainsaw guys. And as you can see, that last chainsaw guy comes out of nowhere, so be prepared to move. And here you'll find a half a slice of pizza, which refills 4 units of energy. These UFO enemies are very easy to hit when they're above me, just 1 single hit above with Dawn's staff. But if they're in front of me blocking my progress, hovering up and down, I wait for them to hover down, and then I start going towards them. That way I have a better chance of doing a single strike kill with Dawn's staff. As you get to the end, you'll see an enemy hovering on the top girder here. You should be able to hit him at least once with Dawn's bow before he drops down. And then you'll have a red guy to deal with here. The red guys fire a projectile as well, which Dawn's staff can also destroy, if need be. But usually, if you're fast enough with Dawn's bow, you can quickly get in 2 hits before he fires it off. I can't remember if Dawn's backwards attack was included in the original NES game or not. I want to say it wasn't. It's probably a late addition by Konami with the Cowabunga collection. But regardless, thank you Konami. We appreciate your support, accidental or otherwise. Then after you deal with a few UFOs and a few spiders, you'll have a small mini boss. Take him out and then grab the pizza if you need it and start making your way to the exit. Now this platforming challenge is a little difficult, but this is why the rewind feature is such a nice addition, because If you miss it, you can just retry it again. One thing that helps me right here, before you jump, hit the jump button hard so his head hits the ceiling. But as you can see, it's still very easy to fall, so just use the rewind feature like I did and keep at it till you get past it. Then go through this door and you'll have respawning soldiers as you make your way across, so take care of them before you dive in. For swimming, I suggest Michelangelo to start, then Raph, save Leonardo for a third option, and Donatello for last. Now if you try to switch turtles before you go through this first electrical barrier, it'll be clear and then you try to swim through it and then it'll shock you. It'll be very unpredictable to read. So wait to switch turtles until after you pass through that first one. After you swim through this next electrical barrier, there's a tentacle insta-death trap on the bottom, so avoid that at all costs. And sometimes when I'm swimming up here, if I hit the wall, it would pull me towards the tentacles, and I'll have to veer off a little bit, so just be aware of that. Now I decided to go this way instead of down and back up. I timed both approaches, and there's not really that much of a difference time-wise. It really just depends on which way you feel more comfortable with getting through without the least amount of damage. And then when you swim down, you'll be able to get around this rotating thing easy enough, and don't get too close to the tentacles because that's another instant death area there, and it will pull you down into it. And then when you swim back up here, try to do this exactly like I'm doing, that way, and be ready to swim back upwards at a moment's notice. That way you won't get hit with any damage here going back up. Now if you get hit with some damage going into these double electrical barriers, don't worry about it because the current pulls you into it. And you should still be relatively good on health with your turtles at this point. This is where you'll lose a lot of your turtles' health. Make sure one doesn't die on you in here because the next one will respawn on the top of the dam right before you dived in. So you may not want to cut it as close as I did here. You'll be able to refill any turtle's health you lose very easily in the next area. Now this electrical barrier and the next two after it are very hard to get through without any damage. So consider how you're doing time-wise here, and you can use my time as a reference. You may just want to swim right through them and take the damage, depending on how you're doing at this point. And then as you're disarming that bomb, be aware of that instant death tentacle trap in the corner there. And then you have this last bomb here before you reach the end. And you can swim back up if you want to through that narrow opening, but it's easier for me just to come down here. Now when you're swimming up through here, I would stay as close to the tentacles as I could here because it's easier to take the damage by the tentacles than risk an instant death. Of course, the good thing about this game is you can always rewind it if you're near death, which you couldn't do in the NES version. And that wraps up the water stage. Now to get in the turtle van, you just have to walk into it. To get out of it, it will be the same button that you switch weapons with. Of course, you can change that to one of your extra buttons in the settings menu if you want to. And it takes 6 bullets from the turtle van to kill one of these tanks, whereas it just takes 1 missile to kill it. So we're going to stock up on missiles in here. And I stuck with Raph going in here just because he's a little bit quicker to take care of these faster moving enemies than Dawn is. One thing I learned about the birds is if they're really close to you, they won't swoop down on you, but if they're high up, then they will. And if they're below you, always expect them to swoop up at you. You notice though that I try to kill as many enemies as I can, hoping they'll drop boomerangs or other weapons for me to use. I wouldn't try to kill anything on the second floor unless you can get up there very quickly, because you notice the weapons don't appear on the screen very long, so make sure you're very close. I'm going to be going in this building twice to make sure I have enough missiles for the barricades and the vehicles in this area, so if you don't think you'll need the pizza on the way up, save it for the way down. It also gives you a greater chance to find additional weapons the more times you go in here. Now if there's one of the big red-headed monsters here before you go up the ladder, you will get hit for damage, so be sure to switch to a turtle that you don't mind taking a hit. Now there's a great way to get missiles right here without going to a whole lot of trouble. Just make sure you take care of all the enemies in the area first before you try this so they don't hinder you too much. But just stand right underneath the hole and jump up, and as soon as you hit the top of it, hit the directional button to the left, and after a try or two you should reach it. But as you can see, if you hit left too early, you'll respawn an enemy just like I did. And there's also an annoying hole a little further up ahead that you get to skip from having to jump over by doing it this way. Now when you're going back across, don't do anything fancy, simply just walk across the hole. You'll get by it, no problem. And there's a balloon. If you have balloons here, there's an annoying one right there that floats just above the ceiling. Use Leonardo or Michelangelo and do an upwards thrust to take out him. You'll have a hard time with Don or Raph. And am I the only one that thinks of the Ghostbusters flagpole while going down here? Now I'm going to skip over my next run through in this building since I'll be refilling my turtle's health and getting more missiles. Don't need to see that again. Next we're going to get scrolls, because scrolls make all the difference with the Area 3 boss, especially if you're having a hard time with him. Now I always park on the left of the building, that way I don't run the risk of getting mashed over by the tank on the way out. And you notice I switched to Michelangelo because it's good to have a turtle that you don't have to worry about taking a damage shot or two, because some of these tanks can sneak up on you. Now you'll have plenty of time to use your machine gun on this tank before he turns around if you want to save a missile. But after we take care of this tank and these two barricades, we're going to park next to this alley. You won't be able to get the van through here, but this is where we're going to find scrolls. Now when you go into new areas, if you go out and come back in, you can sometimes get a new slew of enemies, and these enemies may be more easier to deal with. Whenever I had these fast moving eyes, I usually just used Mike or Raph since they were a little bit quicker than Leo or Don. And then switch back to Dawn to take care of all of them in the upper floor before you climb up, and then make your way across. Now if you have balloons here instead of birds, switch to Leo or Mike and get ready to do an upward thrust, because sometimes they float above the ceiling just like they did in the last area. And then you'll have a flame guy down here, and with Dawn you can easily take care of him in 2 hits. Now when you're going up this ladder, when you reach the top, sometimes there'll be frogs, sometimes there'll be multiple men. That's what I call them, because when you hit them they turn into 2 versions of themselves, and when you hit them again they turn into 4 smaller versions and fly around all over the place. Annoying as all get out. If you have the multiple men there, don't attack them, just let them come to you, and when they come to the ladder they'll just fall into it. So when you have that kind of scenario, just let them come to you and watch them fall down the hole. And you can take care of the big red monsters when you're positioned like this. Just crouch down and hit them, and you'll easily be able to take them out without their attack or their head attacking you. And then grab the half pizza for 4 units of health. Now here's another area where it might be easier to get past with Leo or Mike. Just if you have problems. Then when you climb up the ladder, you'll have 2 balloons up here, but they should be very easy to deal with if you're quick enough. And then after you take them out, make your way across the rooftops. Now when you reach the other side here, don't immediately jump across, just do a fake half jump and an enemy will fall down here, making it easier to get by. And then this second jump can be a little tricky. There's an enemy on the other side ready to hit you and send you off the building and back outside, so jump about halfway and come back and keep doing that until you see him. But if you jump too far back, when you see him he'll respawn, so keep doing it until you're sure he won't respawn, and then jump over. You'll have a smaller enemy to take care of, easy enough. Now all you have to do is jump and grab the scrolls and take a dive, literally. You'll get 1 block of damage, but it's easier to get out that way, and go this way for fewer tanks and barricades. And if you're lucky, you'll get back-to-back shots like I did there. Just call me Deadshot or Bullseye, whichever comic book universe you prefer. And if the tank disappears like that, immediately go across and go down, and you won't have to deal with him. And then you'll have 1 more barricade to deal with, and sometimes there's a tank here, sometimes there won't be, and here we go. Now there's a platforming challenge right here, so you may need the rewind feature. I'm using Dawn since I can take out the big reds with 2 hits, but if you have a turtle with boomerangs, then that helps in this area as well. That's what I call these enemies. Go Big Red! Now after you take care of this enemy, there'll be a couple of balloons that float by, so be ready with an upwards attack. Now after this next enemy and you go down the ladder, as soon as the screen changes, freeze. Don't go down, because if you have birds, they'll fly over you with no damage, just like that. If they're balloons, just let them float by and off screen. When you jump down here, don't jump too far to the left or enemies will respawn to the platform you're about to jump to. Now when you get to these ledges, just do short tap jumps in between these, and when you get to the blocks, don't try to jump on each one of them, just walk across them normally to avoid falling in. And some more tap jumps. Now if there's balloons here, you'll have to hit every single one, but if they're birds like this, then you can let some of them fly by. Just be ready to hit the ones that come right in front of you when you land on the ledge. Now after you grab the pizza, the next enemy could be a balloon or a bird, but get ready to take it out either way. And after this enemy right in front of you, on the higher ledge, if it's a flame guy, move all the way back to the wider ledge, because if he launches a flamer at you, you'll get knocked into the water. Then after they go in here, jump up here, and get ready for an upwards attack, because a balloon or a bird will be waiting. Now if this is a flamer, as soon as he goes into the water, he'll launch a little flamer at you. jump over the flamer to the other side and take him out there so he doesn't knock you into the water. And you can quickly refill all of your turtle's health right here before you go into this building. Now, I like using the scrolls simply because you blow through the third area boss so quickly with the least amount of damage, because they do 1.5 to 2 blocks of damage per hit. And if you have the Cowabunga collection, you notice that him getting the scrolls wasn't included in the video walkthrough of this game that you can watch before you play the game. So I wanted to include them in my video so people know that this is an option if you're struggling with him. And as you climb up here, get ready to move to the right, because that bullet more often than not will come straight at you down the ladder. And then take this one out and then drop down here and then go across. Now when you climb up this ladder, there's a chance you're going to get hit by a balloon no matter how far you go left or right going up the ladder. So have a turtle that you don't mind taking a small hit with. If you're going to use Dawn, then definitely don't make him go up the ladder there. Now as you're going up this ladder, go as far left as you can, like I am doing. That way you'll have plenty of time to do an upward strike on the Raven or balloon that will be up here waiting on you. Now get your scrolls ready to use here, and you can launch one in his direction before you land. And you can do a better job of timing it than I did, so you're not so close to him. Now the reason I'm moving to the edge of the screen is sometimes it gets stuck coming back over, but stay exactly where I am, because if you move too close to the ledge, he will knock you off. And whenever you kill the turtle, that's where the robot will appear, and you will have time for 1 or 2 attacks before he fully appears on the screen, so you can quickly take him out, and Splinter is saved, and on to Area 4. Now, people with the Cowabunga collection are going to notice that I'm going to go a different way than what the video walkthrough that came with the game went. And even though the way he went was like half a minute faster than mine, the way I'm going to go has more pizza, has less fire, insta-death pits to deal with, and you don't have any of those annoying magnets to deal with. So I just felt like this way would be a lot easier for people. And as you can see, it's a lot easier to get the full pizza with the multiple man up here. If you come in the building and there's a boomerang guy up there instead, just keep exiting the building and coming back in until the multiple man is up there. And I try not to hit him unless I absolutely have to, because if you hit him once, he spawns into 2 smaller versions of himself. If you hit him again, he spawns into 4 versions of himself, and they fly around all over the place. So I would avoid trying to not hit him unless you absolutely have to. Now, if you get power-ups, that's good, but you're not really going to need any power-ups for the boss. He's very easy to get past, so don't worry about getting anything here. Now make sure you get these 3 ropes up here, because you will need them for what's up ahead. But so you're not going to have to really worry about the boss of this area so much, but getting to the boss is actually going to be a very irritating challenge. But the rewind feature will make it a lot easier to get past, but we'll cover that when we get there. If you're not having any luck with sub-weapons at this point in the game, like I am, or if you just want to save your scrolls for more difficult enemies and situations, then Dawn is a good person on the boomerang guys, because as you can see, it takes 2 hits from him to knock them out. And on the first hit, you probably already noticed that they sometimes stand there in place and jump up and down, and if you're quick enough, you can usually take them out with the second shot before they start firing boomerangs at you. But with the other turtles, you have to worry about them getting close enough to still hit you when you do this. And you can always use Dawn's backwards attack as you're running away from them more effectively too. And as you can see, you'll be using the ropes very quickly after you obtain them, and you won't be able to get by these pits without them, and if you try, you'll fall straight down. And don't try to backtrack any as you're going across these, because if you do, then you run the risk of dragonflies appearing, and if they hit you while you're walking across these, then you will fall. Then take out the boomerang guy, and then grab the half pizza for 4 units of health. Then we're going to climb down. And when you climb down here, you'll have a boomerang guy that you can easily use Dawn's bow to take care of. And you notice that I just blow through these robots with the scrolls. And you notice that the scrolls destroy their lasers as well as them. But if you don't have scrolls or boomerangs or any sub weapons, you can just, when they're splitting up, go into both separate ends of the screen, drop down, use Dawn's staff on one of them, and immediately jump back up there, and just keep repeating that until you take one and both of them out. And we're going to use the same approach to take this boomerang guy out. Now, I jumped down from the left, but I would, if I had this to do over again, I would have went right and then jumped down, because before you jump down to the right, he'll pass under you, so you'll be able to see him coming and prepare better than I did there. And then if you have a boomerang guy up here, then most of the time the dragonfly will be gone by the time you drop back down. Then there's only one sewer entrance to go into, and then you'll have two boomerang guys to deal with. If you don't have any scrolls, boomerangs work just as well, or Dawn's staff. Now here is where we get introduced to the wall-mounted laser turrets, and they can be fixated anywhere, and they can fire one of 4 different directions, so always pay attention to where they're firing. And you have a small mini-boss here, which is easily disposed of with Dawn's staff. Then you climb up here, and then on the ground you'll face 2 dragonflies coming at you, so be prepared to deal with them. And then after that you'll have you'll have about 3 boomerang enemies coming at you, and then after that you'll climb your way out. And don't ask me to do that jump like that again, because I probably could not. And we're going to go through the manhole on the top left. Now after you take care of these dragonflies, you don't have to jump these like I'm doing. I tested this after I did this, and you can just walk across them, and I didn't fall in the first time. Just don't stop as you're going over the holes, and you won't fall in. Spikes aren't insta-death, so if you fall through, you don't have to worry about that. And when I drop down here, instead of going up, I'm going to go across right next to this laser turret. And this boomerang guy is going to be within hitting distance. Quickly take care of him. And when I jump back up here, when I jump across, there'll be a dragonfly ready to greet me, so be ready with your attack button. And then there's a boomerang guy right here. If he hits you, that's okay. Just don't let him knock you into the spikes for double damage. And then this next dragonfly coming up here, don't try to take him out like I did. You can simply jump over him. You won't have to worry about him coming back at you. And then I found out later that Leonardo and Michelangelo can take care of this enemy a lot easier than Dawn and Raph can, without fear of leaving the platform. And then when you jump over here, if you don't want to use a scroll, you can simply jump over these 2 and land on the other side and easily take them out. And finally got some boomerangs. It only took like halfway through area 4, but oh well. I guess that's the way the cards deal you sometimes, right? And we're going to climb out of here and go through the only manhole up top. Now when you go in here, if you have multiple men or boomerang guys, just focus on getting out. You don't have to worry about the boomerangs hitting you unless you fall through the gap in between the tracks. So just focus on getting out, unless you're still looking for boomerangs, which I'm not saying is completely out of the question, obviously. And instead of the closest manhole, we're going to go to the furthest one up top. And then when we go in here, we'll have a small mini boss to deal with, but should be easy enough. If you have some turtles captured, then I'm going to show you how to rescue them while you're in this area. Instead of going through the manhole that we're going to walk past here, we're going to go to the furthest one on the other end of the airfield. And as soon as you drop into that manhole, you should see him tied up, and you'll get to be his knight in shining armor. Now if you have a turtle that's low on health, you can actually finish getting him caught, then come over here and rescue him, and he'll have full health. But he will lose any additional weapons that you may have found, like boomerangs and such. And you can only do this for 1 turtle in this area. And scrolls and boomerangs help out a lot in this area. And this jump here is a lot like the one before we started the swim stage. Same strategy, just as soon as your feet are on the edge, just do a hard jump with his head hitting the top of the ceiling. And this will take some timing, but when you're jumping across here, you can quickly take out that laser turret like I did. And then take out the boomerang guy. And then there's a hidden pizza in here, and I almost forgot about it. But just keep jumping in that corner, and it will magically appear. And it'll be magically delicious. Let's see who gets that reference. Now, I think that hidden pizza was in the NES version as well, I think I read. Now you may be tempted to drop down here and use that pizza to refill all your turtle's health, but it'd be more trouble than it's worth, so I would just move on. So don't worry about your turtle's health because the boss here is incredibly easy. It's just getting to him that is a pain, but getting to him won't require your turtles to be at full health, and we'll be able to completely refill all of their health at the start of Area 5. Now I expected to go over this tip sooner in the walkthrough, but I didn't expect to get boomerangs until the end of Area 4, but you can switch, if you have a turtle that doesn't have any secondary weapons, you can quickly give them some boomerangs this way. But if you throw them near the end of the screen, as you can see, they won't come back to you. And instead of going down, we're going to go up because you'll eventually have to cross a sea of spikes down there. Then as you're making your way across here, there'll be another dragonfly come at you, so be ready to deal with him. And then, why is it I don't get any boomerangs until the end of Area 4 and then I can get them back to back? It's almost as if the game is just purposefully doing this, intentionally. As you can see, having boomerangs does make situations like this a lot easier. And if you do sustain any damage in this area, don't worry about it because you have a full pizza right here within arm's reach. Just make sure you take out everything on the down here before you grab it, and then jump back up here and then take care of the turret. But we're going to take a moment to give Leo some extra weapons so he don't feel neglected and left out. So now all of our turtles have extra stuff if needed. And as you jump back up here, beware of that dragonfly that'll come out of nowhere. Now when you're jumping over this boomerang guy coming up, don't do a hard jump where the top of his head hits the ceiling where he somersaults, or you'll hit the ceiling and land right in that boomerang guy's path. So just use the treadmill to get a running start and you'll be fine. Now this is the only fire pit insta-death that you will encounter if you go this way. Just make sure to kill all the enemies in the area before you attempt to jump it. And as soon as you jump this, you'll have plenty of time to climb the ladder before they fire. But you can just use an upward strike to take both of them out like I did. Now if you want to go ahead and try to refill your turtle's health, the manhole underneath where we're going to go has a half and a full pizza. But there's a lot of enemies. I'm not going to cover it, but just wanted to mention it in case you wanted to try it. And as soon as you go in here, you'll have a few laser turrets and boomerang guys to deal with. Now the boss of Area 4 is in this area, and while he's incredibly easy, to get to him you have to go through a platforming nightmare. And this is where the rewind feature will get probably overheated from excess use. I'm just kidding, it won't, but more than likely you'll have to use it a lot. Now when you pass by here, you'll notice a laser turret appears beneath you. Go ahead and take it out with Dawn because it will fire to the right instead of up and down. Now when you drop down here through the hole, you'll have an area to practice in before you face the real thing. Just keep practicing this until you can go from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen in one fluid motion. Right before you go through the empty space, release the directional button so you fall straight through like I'm doing. If you keep it mashed in, you're going to walk right over it. So keep doing this in this area till you feel as comfortable with it as breathing. And you may want to try this when you're alone because you may have some sensitive ears in the house or a wife that may yell at you because there's a chance you may let certain words fly when you try the next area. Yeah, this is going to be one of those. Make sure you get the pizza in the corner before you leave. Now, if you haven't gotten here yet, then I would suggest practicing this whenever you're near a ledge. Just try to drop straight down. That way you'll be more comfortable with this when you get here. Now, ignore the power-up in this area and ignore the full pizza in this area here. They're there to trick you, so don't be fooled. Just get in and out as fast as you can without hitting the spikes. Now, one of these four is pretty much how you're feeling right now. Now the boss is through here, so stay in the middle as soon as you pop in. When he opens his mouth and you see the glowing orb, use Dawn's staff to do an upwards attack, and you won't have to move, and take care of the mousers that pop out. If you're quick enough, you can get 4 attacks in before he closes his mouth again. Now I found an easier way to do this after the fact. When he opens his mouth and you see the glowing orb, hit pause, then unpause it and his mouth will be closed. But you'll still see the glowing orb, and just use the upwards attack to hit it until he opens his mouth again, then repeat. And I tried it after I did it this way, and it does work with the Cowabunga collection, so whichever way, Mouser's done. On to Area 5. When you go to your map, you'll see 5 white dots. The dots in the upper right, and bottom left are possible locations for the Technodrome, but we have no idea which one, so we're going to have to explore them all. But first I'm going to show you how to get scrolls and health for your turtles very easily before we start. So we're going to go to the white dot in the upper left, and we're going to switch to Raph because we felt he was the better choice for this area. 120 scrolls should be enough to get you through to the rest of the game. That's 2 turtles with 40 and 2 turtles with 20. Whenever I did an upwards attack to an enemy in front of one of these climbing structures, he would start to climb it instead of attack the enemy, so be aware of that. Now, birds in this area will try to drop boulders on you. If they miss you, they'll always try to come around for another attack, so be ready for them. Now, we're going to climb this. When we change screens, you may see a bird come out of off the side of the screen. Don't let it deter you. Just keep climbing until you can get to the top of one of these, just like so, and wait for the spiders to come to you, take care of them, then finish climbing up and grab the scrolls. Now, instead of drop back down, we're going to go off to the side because a lot of enemies respawn down below. While you're coming in and out for scrolls, you can try for the full pizza on the other side. Once you get to the ledge, you can drop straight down with no damage, like you practiced in Area 4 before the boss. But if you want to try for the pizza, climb this. It can sometimes be a little tricky with the number of enemies that spawn here. So if you have problems getting to this one, don't worry. There's an easier place I'm about to show you for pizza. Now the place we're going for pizza is the white dot in the middle of the map. And you have just 3 enemies to deal with in here for this pizza. Now those 2 stones you can destroy. If you have a turtle captured, that will lead you to a turtle capture point. So, and when you climb this, don't change screens when you grab this pizza. That way enemies don't respawn. Just climb down, exit, and then repeat. And you'll be able to refill all your turtle's health. Now the Technodrome. Now the white dots we need to explore are the top right, and bottom left. And I'd explore them in that order as far as difficulty. And before you go in one, save your game. And if you get all the way down and the Technodrome isn't there, just reload your game from before you went in, and it'll save your health, scrolls, and time getting out. You're welcome. Now these purple guys that roll, I just saved my scrolls, and when they started to roll towards me, I would go in the opposite direction, and I would quickly say bye-bye to them. And as you can see, these jellyfish, when you get close enough, will explode and try to do you damage, so try to get them first. Now after this purple enemy rolls away, and you jump on top of this metal girder, don't jump down right away because there'll be another purple rolling enemy lying in wait. Get underneath the ladder like I'm doing. If the enemy doesn't roll down the ladder, he'll roll the other way and disappear. So either way, you'll be rid of him. Now before you climb down the ladder on the bottom, make sure you're facing to the right. That way you'll be ready to jump off to the right. Wait for these 2 enemies here to go to your left. Right when they do, jump down and then go smash that opening and go in, and the Technodrome will be waiting. This is why I love having more than 20 scrolls per turtle. I can really let loose with the scrolls in here. They make short work of the electrical fork in the front. And then next, you'll take out the turret and the escape hatch, which will allow you to climb up here and take out the back turret. There's a rear fork in the back, but don't pay that much attention because that doesn't really hurt you if you're smart. And just focus on the eye, and here's the fork there, kind of peeking out there. But after you've hit that, Area 5 boss done, on to Area 6. Now if you have jetpack people up here, be careful hopping over that turret like I'm doing, because you may get hit with a laser. Now there's a quicker way to get by a lot of this area if you're interested, and there's the jetpack guys. Just crouch down until they pass you. They're better off avoided instead of fought. And there's a full pizza down here in the corner if you want it. Now the secret entrance is right there. Just go down that ladder and you'll skip a lot of Area 6, but you won't be able to get the scrolls that is in this area or the half and full pizzas. And going this way isn't too terribly difficult. And don't climb up until that thing passes, or you'll get hit for damage. And then these kangaroos can quickly get up on you, so be ready to take them out. And the alternate route, you do have to go through a lot of spikes, so you're going to get hit for damage going that way too. And we're going to go through this opening to the second part of Area 6. Now when you drop down here and go past the turret and get to the ledge, instead of jumping down, you can keep going left to find a pack of scrolls. If you're running low, then I would go ahead and get them because they make the next area a lot easier. We don't, so we're just going to drop down. So when we drop down, there's a kangaroo here to greet us, so we're going to take him out, and then there'll be a turret on the ledge. After we take him out, we're going to drop down again. Now when you drop down, there'll be a half a pizza to the right, but you have to go through a slew of enemies, and it's more trouble than it's worth personally, but it's there if you want to try for it. But there is a full pizza when you go down that ladder right there, and you'll see it when we drop down here. And to the right is where you will come out if you go the quicker route through the spikes. You won't be able to get back up for the full pizza or the scrolls if you go that way. When we drop down, we'll have a few whirlybirds to deal with. I know, technically they're insects, but whirlybird sounds cooler, doesn't it? And remember to duck for these jetpack guards, and keep that in mind for the next area we hit as well. And after this last one, you can immediately drop off if you want to, but if you can hop over this turret, there's an invincibility on the other side. Makes this last segment a little easier. And once we drop down, you'll notice I use it to take my frustrations out on a few jetpack guards. So take that, and you'll arrive at your favorite part in the game. No, it really won't be. I like having extra scrolls or boomerangs in this area because they make it much easier. Just remember whirlybirds, boomerangs, whirlybirds, boomerangs. That's all you'll face in this area. You can do it with regular weapons, you're just going to have an aggravating time. Try to start jumping before the jetpacks start reaching you. That might help keep you from getting damaged, but if you get damaged, don't let it bother you, just keep going forward. Now, when you get to this step up right here, turn around and take out any jetpacks behind you. Try to stay crouched so you can avoid the fire from jetpacks that might appear in front of you. And once you take care of the ones behind you, start going forward and crouch to avoid the one in the front's laser. You don't have to kill him, just wait for him to disappear off screen. And wait for him to disappear completely before you start moving forward, or he'll show up with a buddy. You don't want that. We want to strictly keep this one-on-one. And don't forget about the occasional whirlybird that will appear, so be ready with a scroll or a boomerang. And you made it! Now that wasn't so hard, was it? I know, you're yelling and screaming at me right now. It's fine. Now if you have 5 scrolls after this mini-boss battle, you might as well break out the champagne, because you're pretty much through the game. But after we take care of him, we'll head to face old Shredhead. Now as soon as we go through the opening coming up, immediately jump to the smaller platform to the right. That way you can avoid his mutagen shot, which will one shot kill you and turn you back into a cute little turtle. Now right before he jumps off the platform, hit him with the scroll. That way you can hit him 3 times before he drops down, 2 times on the ground, boom, dead. Thank you Digital Eclipse and Konami for the Cowabunga collection. This has been a great stroll down memory lane. Thank you for the save game and rewind feature too, because it's helped with my stress levels tremendously. Would have felt better as a kid, but better late than never. That's all there is to it. I will see you next time.